Welcome to the Real Estate Fight Club, a podcast for agents where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. There are many ways for agents to achieve success. The secret is to find which approach will work for you. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Mertland and Monica Weekly.
Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. What's up, Jay Mert?
Hey, Monica. How's it going?
Yo, I'm fired up because I have one of my friends, our friend, on the podcast today.
I know. Why are you being so selfish? He's our friend.
I know he's our friend. That's what I meant to say. It just came out as my friend.
Yes.
All right, guys. Welcome again. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. We appreciate it. And today, Jen and I are going to duke it out. And who knows, I guess, where Ryan, I know where Ryan will fall on this, but I don't know where Jen's going to be rude to him, or we just don't know at this point.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Today we're going to duke it out over this subject. Will niching down make you more money? Will niching down, that can be a geographic niche, that can be a demographic niche, that can be all kinds of different niches, but in general, will niching down make you more money? Welcome, Ryan Bowman, to the Fight Club.
Well,
Hi,
thank
Ryan.
you. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. And so people have a little backstory about you. You've been in real estate for about 13 years, been a broker for the last 6. You operate out of Akron, Ohio, which I'm not sure anybody knows where that is.
Yes, they do.
I live in Ohio and I don't know where Akron is.
You know,
I'm from Pittsburgh. I just live here.
Oh, yeah.
Don't say that. Don't say
Last
that.
15 years.
Yeah, leave that detail out.
Yes. But I'm excited to have you on because you're the founder of the Hero Project, which focuses on veterans and first responders for your real estate business. So I think it'll be really interesting to hear how you decided to do that niche and what it's done for your business. So maybe we should start there.
Sure. Yeah. Why veterans and first responders? Are you a veteran or a first responder?
No, I actually didn't serve. It was something that I don't want to say it's the biggest regret that I have in my life, but it's certainly a big regret. Everything happens for a reason, but it's something I've always been passionate about supporting those folks. And maybe it was the age that I was at, but 9/11 was impactful for me. I remember 9/11 like it was yesterday. And just, seeing the pictures of the first responders, at that scene, it just hit me. And ever since then, especially, it's just been something that I've been looking for a way to give back and to better support them. And that's when I actually came up with the Hero Project in 2018.
So had you been serving veterans and first responders in your real estate business already, or had that not even been a part of your business makeup?
It wasn't formally a part of my business. It's always been a part of me. It's always been a part of my messaging. It's always been a topic of conversation for me. But it wasn't, I didn't have a formal program. I didn't have something to offer that I feel is of real benefit, to those folks.
Isn't that like part of finding a niche? It's like, one, if you decide that you're going to niche, it's something that you're probably already doing, but then adding the next step of formalizing it.
And it has to be sincere, doesn't it? Like if Ryan came
Absolutely.
at us and was like, I niched down on, I don't know what, senior citizens. Not that you hate senior citizens, but maybe you just don't really care. Yeah. Like it's not going to work, right?
Right.
Well, and that was actually part of my process. I mean, there's several really awesome companies that do this on the national level. But when I looked at their programs, they were much broader. They help doctors and nurses and teachers, which I love, but I don't connect with them. I connect with veterans and first responders. That's where my heart is. And so that's why after looking at all of those different programs, I decided to create my own.
What is the program? Can you give us just the highlights of it?
Sure. So my clients that are veterans and first responders, I call those my hero homes, and I give 20% of my commission back, whether they're buying or selling or both, at closing in the form of a rebate. When it comes to all of my other clients, they actually help and support my business. So I donate to local charities that serve and support veterans and first responders. That way, every home I sell benefits those folks.
Oh, so you do this 20% to anybody that you do business with, which is how you.
No, the 20% is
No.
to the heroes.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a donation to a charitable organization after. It's not 20% because, quite frankly,
That's
not sustainable.
That would be a
Right.
lot. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
I want to
It's still been
know.
more than 35,000 that I've given back in 4 years.
Nice.
Incredible.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What about, it seems like, I mean, I can guess that you think niching down really helped grow your business, but can you pinpoint why?
Sure. There's 1.6 million realtors in the United States. So you have lots of competition wherever you are, and being able to stand out, but also standing out for something that you feel strongly about and you represent. I think absolutely, benefited my business. Also, just the general fact of giving. When you give, you get. Whether it's reaping and sowing, like it's in the Bible, or you just believe that the universe is going to give back what you put out there, whatever it is you believe, it's real. And so the more that you have that heart, I think the more that you get.
For sure. I do also want to make sure that people heard that you're not only working with veterans and first responders, you have other clients. So by niching down, it did not actually hinder you from getting other clients. Can you talk more about that?
Sure. I mean, some people think that if you just put that out there, that's all you're going to get back.
Right.
But that's who you're speaking to. That doesn't mean other people can't relate. I mean, I have conversations with clients all the time. And one of the first questions I always ask them is, did you serve? And they, when they say no, it gives me a way to connect with them because I didn't serve. And oftentimes, they have kind of some of the same feelings. They just don't know how to help. And by this program, the programs that I have, I mean, they're contributing into supporting, those folks here locally.
I love it. Talk about an example or a couple examples of when you felt this really took roots and how you gained some business that you wouldn't have otherwise gained. Do you have a couple examples of those, or one in particular that stands out?
Absolutely. One of them is my home inspector reached out to me. He had a colleague on the force that was looking to buy a home. Now, this home inspector does, I mean, they do business for huge teams. I mean, they have a business now of 4 or 5 home inspectors. I wouldn't have gotten that referral if he didn't know how I felt, and knowing specifically that I didn't serve, but I'm coming from where I'm coming from. And he was the only one that he recommended that person to. So I wouldn't have gotten that business without that.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Can I ask you about when you decided to do this and you built the program, in essence, the 20% and what you would be doing? Did you intentionally build a social media campaign around that? And how did you start that? I want you to talk about your TikTok, like when you dipped your toe into TikTok, and then what happened on one of your posts. And like, what's your plan now? What's your system for the niche?
Well, I would say it started small. It started as a simple video. Here's what I'm doing, just to let people know. And it's almost like in music, the idea of a crescendo. I feel like the more that you add to it, and certainly being consistent with it, whatever you do, you've got to be consistent. And so, continuing to add to the message certainly was important. And in the very beginning, I just had the hero homes. I was just giving back to veterans and first responders. And it was quite a few months later that I added the other program, because I didn't want people to feel left out, and also wanted them to feel like they could be a part of something and helping to serve.
I love that piece. You're like getting it from both ends. I also think it's like, once you niche, a lot of people don't post because they don't know what to say, right? But once you niche, like, what to say, because everything is like, well, from their perspective, what do they think about this topic? It seems to me like it would become a lot easier to post, like, you're supposed to.
Absolutely. And then even some of the things that, we still do some old school mailers. Not a lot of people mail things out these days. We kind of rotate between Memorial Day, 4th of July, and
Yeah.
Veterans Day,
Nice.
mailing something out to our neighborhood, our sphere, and including something in it, a message from us as well, because even if people get things on a regular basis in the mail, they're not typically getting those kind of mailers,
Right.
and it fits my brand.
You know what, I'm remembering that I put a post out, and I can't remember what the day was that we were celebrating, but I think I put the word happy in front of it. And Ryan reached out in a very appropriate, kind way and said, I hope you don't mind this feedback, but just so you know, this is the meaning of this holiday. And it was
Memorial Day.
It was probably Memorial Day. Yeah, you're right, I think. And I know you know this, but this holiday is not one that's necessarily happy, right? And I just wanted to give you the right language or whatever. So, and I appreciated that, because of course I hadn't thought about that. And so, Ryan, I think you do way more than just give back and sell homes. Like you're advocating for this group, both past and present. So I think that's kind of what makes this really real for you too. Would you agree that it's more than just the houses for you?
Oh, for sure. And there's oftentimes that I'm trying to bring awareness to things that have happened in the past, but maybe it was D-Day and all the people that we lost on D-Day, or just other things. I mean, they don't call that the greatest generation for for nothing. I mean, I think especially as we're losing so many of them each and every day, just remembering those folks that did serve and sacrifice, and it continues. I mean, I've done some things with trying to bring awareness to the 22 a day. On average, we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide. It's far more than what we've lost. We've lost 132,000 service members since the Iraq War, where we only lost 57 in combat. So it's there. I've done things with that as well. Push-up challenges where you do 22 a day. You're talking about TikTok. That was one of the things that I did on there, just to bring awareness to people about some of these other subjects, for sure. But adding TikTok, we talked about that a second ago. I started on there actually in 2020, probably when most people did, and had a couple of videos that just went viral, and it kind of took off from there. But if you look at all of my different platforms, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, even LinkedIn and Instagram, they all, if you come to my profile, you'll see a running theme. I sell real estate, and I'm very passionate about our veterans and first responders, and I love this country.
And awesome. You're always wearing red, white, or blue, or some flag, and your truck. You guys have to go follow Ryan Bowman, Bowman, on one of his platforms and see this truck that I'm sure you get quite a bit of attention. So you've really gone all in on the niche too, in that way.
I want to talk about why you think people are hesitating on niching down, and then how, if I'm thinking like, okay, everything you're saying makes sense, I get it, I want to do it. What are our steps to take?
Jen, I loved what I do agree. We need to just dive into the general niche question. We've gotten kind of down into Ryan's
weeds.
Well, it's a good example. But it's a good example. It's like, it's not just a general simple niche. I mean, you're like you said, you're all in every platform. It's like who you are because you resonate with it. And I imagine that's like one of the tips.
That's true. My question was, or I guess I wanted to bring everybody up to speed on the fact that your signs, when you put that in a home, it says a hero lives here, or a hero's home, right?
Hero home. Yeah.
Hero home.
Yeah.
Do you get people asking you, what does that mean?
All the time. Commenting on social media, what's the difference between a hero home or an honor home? Because I mean, I have a sign right on there with an American flag, and then it says hero home or honor home.
What is the difference?
Again, hero home, giving back to veterans and first responders directly. An honor home means we're honoring them after the fact.
Got it. That's so cool. Okay, Jen, let's go down with your questions again. Bring those up.
So I want to know why you think people hesitate to get a niche. And if people are on board, they're listening, they say, yes, I want to do it. What is your advice for figuring out what should I niche down on?
Well, I think the hesitation is probably just they think that they're the only ones that have this interest. Whether it's, I mean, it could be something as simple as, leaning into the fact that you just love plants. I mean, I know 2 or 3 agents that's their thing. And what you end up doing is you end up connecting with other people that have the common interest. So I think there's this hesitation of letting people know a little bit more about themselves. And,
But what if
social
somebody
media.
else has your niche? Like, okay, the 2 or 3 people, they both decide to do it. They're both in Akron. Like, what
Mhm.
is your mindset around that? And they're like, okay, let's niche down on plants. And they make that separate decision separately. And then they're all doing it.
Well, that's okay. Not everybody's going
Right.
to do it. Even if there's 2 or 3 other agents that do it, there's thousands of homes that are sold in Akron. I don't want to sell thousands of homes. I
There's
just want
thousands of homes in Akron.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jen. It's a legitimate city, Jen.
He
Hey,
meant tens.
I think we should take Real Estate Fight Club on the road to Akron.
There you go.
Go
There
make
you
some
go.
lies.
Okay, so
Okay.
how did you start, Ryan? You had this idea. You're like, look,
Mhm.
I want to do this. I'm going to niche. You did a video, you said one
Yeah.
video. Then what did you do? How did you build it?
I just was consistent. I just continued to put that message out there.
How
And I
often?
would every day. Every day was
Oh.
something, either
Mhm.
real estate related, or with my niche. I wouldn't say my niche was every single day, but I would say it was at least 3 to 4 days a week.
Okay.
But it took some time to build that momentum. I was still selling homes. But it wasn't until, people at church and other places started saying, "Hey, I saw your video," or "Hey, I saw this on Facebook." That's when you know that it's resonated, because of course that person that said something, they didn't comment, they didn't help
Yeah.
me out there, but of course they're always watching, because they always are.
What
Yeah,
is the time frame you think from the time you were started being consistent till the time you were like feeling like you were getting somewhere, gaining traction?
I would say it was probably 6 months.
Oh my God, not a day? One post and that's it? Holy shit. Yeah, 6 months, right? Like,
Now my
yes.
TikTok exploded in one day, but outside
that's
of that,
crazy.
Yeah, but it wasn't your first day.
no, it wasn't my first day.
No,
And
but
that's
it
the
can
thing.
happen.
You were doing TikTok regularly, like whatever your
Yeah.
consistency is, which it makes sense that it's 2 to 4 times a week. You're posting about this whatever consistently. And then, somewhere along between 4 and 6 months, it's like really
Yeah.
slow. And then all of a sudden, whoa, we never talked
Yeah.
about that before, Monica. Dang.
It's so true.
And it was just like different layers. Like I started with the video, and then I started adding some posts in, and then I redesigned my signs, and then I had some flyers that I put together.
You didn't
And
do
it was
everything
all of
all
these
at
things.
once and hold off until you had
No.
everything perfect. Oh my God.
But that's my personality by nature. I've learned over the years that just doesn't work. I mean,
It's so
you've got to
annoying.
just
Don't do
go
that.
and yeah.
Give it a go. What do you think the difference is between a formal niche, which is what I would call what you've done,
Mhm.
versus I had for many years, not so much lately, but my niche, or what people knew me for, was animal rescue,
Yeah.
advocating. And that helped me do a lot of business during the years, because
Girl,
crazy
get that niche back up and running.
crazy animal people love other crazy animal people. And, she's a crazy animal person. Let's hire her to sell the house. But I never went formal with that like you did. How important do you think that's been to your experience? And has your business grown because of this? Or in
I
what
think
way?
I think it depends on what your goals are. What does success look like for you? How many houses do you want to sell? How formal do you want to make it?
Mhm.
At the end of the day, we work with people, and we need to know more people to sell more homes. And
Right.
so whether it's formal or informal, I don't think it matters. I think whatever fits you,
It's
and
the
whatever you can do
consistency that
consistently.
matters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you doing anything, Ryan, to integrate within that community, the first responders and veterans community, outside of just posting? Like, are you in groups or networks or something like that?
I have been, but I'm not currently, just because I've got so much going on.
Yeah.
But yes, like there's been times I've been involved a little bit with the FOPA, and there's some other organizations that I've absolutely had some conversations with and things.
Got it.
But that would be a great idea if if I had the time to do it.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe
If
the
you were
next
really
layer.
growing, right,
Yeah.
right. You're in a little different phase with your business, but if somebody's looking to
Sure.
grow their business, that
100%.
would be, to me, like an important part of a formal niche is to actually
Absolutely.
integrate inside that world.
Absolutely.
Well, let's wrap up. If I do have Ryan was generous enough to give us his the flyers that he uses for his buyers and sellers. So if you want Ryan's flyers, text the word niche, NICHE,
Yeah,
or
you gotta
however you want to spell it. I mean, I guess you don't have to spell it. I just
I
need
mean,
to know
if you
what it
spell
is.
it NITCH, we'll still give you
Whatever, just do whatever. Text the word niche to me at 513-400-1691, and I'll get you those flyers so you can view them. He doesn't care. Copy them, make them better, whatever. But let's end with, if I'm somebody who wants to discover what is my niche, what do each of you have like your top tip? Ryan?
For me, it was actually I hired a coach, and I went through the process. I was at the point of wanting to grow my business, and it was Kevin Hoover, and it was through our
Kevin. He's been on.
He's the best.
Yeah.
We love him.
I think it was our first conversation that started that process, and it was within 2 weeks that I had started the program.
That's awesome. I love that. Hire a coach because they can see, like, what was the most important thing about that helped you? Is it because he could like see your business or what?
Well, he could just see how we could put it together and how it could be something. He was outside of my business looking in versus me in my business looking outside.
Right. Love it. Monica, what's your top tip for discovering your niche?
My top tip is to make it 100% authentic. It has to be something you are already passionate about. You can't create it because you think it's going to bring you people who need to sell houses.
Yeah.
It has to be part of your life already.
I agree.
But
and
listen,
I would say,
I'm sorry. I just want to say it doesn't have to be a category like you're thinking. It doesn't have to be demographic or geographic. It could be that you care, like single moms. If you're a single mom, double down on single moms. Like there's a way to whoever you are already or whatever you care about already to create a community, which is what Ryan's done in essence.
But you can do that by, I mean, Ryan had said, if you look at my feed, like before, it's always I'm always talking about something, right? Like I'm always talking about real estate. I'm always talking about first responders. So that like for yours, Monica, like if you looked at your feed, it would be all these animals and animal rescue. If you look at my feed, it'll be travel and food. So that's like, that's 100%. It.
We
that's
know
your niche. Like
right.
realtors that eat, like,
or
whatever. Yeah. That's good. I think that's the end of this episode.
All right. Well, listen, hey, Ryan is a man of many talents. And I also want him to have a chance to talk about his new fitness coaching or health coaching platform that he's into that I'm feeling like you're very passionate about, Ryan. If you go to Ryan's pages, that's the other thing you'll see is how consistent.
Well, I've kind of lived it the last few years, especially. It wasn't that I lost a ton of weight, but if you look at me kind of side by side, I look completely different, and I'm within 2 pounds of what I was before. So I'm just looking to help folks do the same thing, get healthier, and help them identify what success looks like for them, because it looks different for everybody else. It's not a number on a scale. It's how you look. It's how you feel, and it helps you with your confidence. And if you get your health right, everything else falls into place. Relationships, your business, all of that stuff.
I mean, one-stop shop with Ryan. You got the niches, you got your fitness and health. Like, just go to Akron. Where's that?
Don't go there. But Ryan, if people do want to get a hold of you, what is the best way to get into your world? Is it your TikTok?
Probably socials. I have the same handle on all of them. It's my name, but with another R at the beginning. So it's R Ryan Bowman, Bowman. Consistent across all of them: TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram.
So it's RRYAN.
Like Realtor Ryan Bowman, Ryan Bowman.
Ryan Bowman, got it. RRYAN. All right.
Or hashtag Realtor Ryan, because you can find me pretty easily that way.
Nice.
Because I'm consistent.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
Absolutely. I enjoyed this.
To be the end of today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you've been talking to somebody, you know an agent that you think, oh man, they have the perfect niche that would just be so great for the business, do them a favor and share this podcast with them. They will thank you for that.
It's easier to identify in other people than yourself, for sure.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
100%.
And and if you're looking to level up your business, level up your life, you are thinking like, God, I got to retire from real estate one day, and you want to partner with Monica and I so we can help you do that, give us a call or a text at 513-400-1691. All right. Thanks, gang.
See you next
Bye.
time.